Jorma Vuoksenmaa, there are NBA basketball pools in Colossus basically every night. You have started crafting their syndicates as well. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, we have been betting successfully NBA since 1990. I had two fellows in Las Vegas who did some cooperation with me, and of course, basketball is such a fast and fascinating sport itself, so it's easy to fall in love with basketball and basketball betting. So we didn't start betting baseball because Colossus opened the NBA pools, but because certain betting situations are very good in Colossus, and it's kind of one nice club to have in your golf bag to hit in certain situations.
So, what are your basic philosophy regarding the NBA? Are there certain kind of teams you're looking for when betting?
Yes, certain kind of teams. What happens in even in general in pools betting, that if the fixed odds market overestimates the brand teams and gives too many points handicap on the name teams, that phenomenon is even stronger in the pools betting. So you get good value on the underdogs with Colossus pools if you don't combine too many of them in the same coupon, because it's pretty difficult pool to have that point margin parlay in with Colossus, and if you bet two wild scores for underdogs, your line is so improbable that the pool doesn't offer you enough money to compensate your risk. It's different thing on those added money rollover NBA pools, and we have actually taken two of those alone already. But in general, bet underdogs, say, in one match and keep the scores normal in other ones. Another good thing with Colossus is that certain point margins you can get extra paid with Colossus, like the category in NBA to win by 5 to 8 points. Here is quite a good betting idea for you. What happens in basketball is that the team which is trailing needs to break at the end of game, making those fouls in order to stop the clock and get the free throws, and then have the chance that if the free throws are thrown badly, they might get back. But in most situations, the score goes upwards at that stage, which means that occasionally you can bet with fixed odds an underdog you like with, say, plus 2.5 points, plus 4.5 points, and bet the favorite to win in Colossus between 5 and 8 points. Because according to my experience and research, the market doesn't effectively understand what are kind of important points in basketball. It's not that kind of smooth distribution, 2-point points, and then those point margins after a free throw rally are more probable.
So, when estimating a scoreline of an NBA match, what kind of studies and findings your estimates are based on?
That's pretty interesting. Most recreative bettors or Colossus bet pools bettors just have a feeling that this team is better than any other and so on. Then a bit more advanced bettors might have some kind of power rating systems which are based on the won and lost matches. Some take the points scored into we take into consideration the points scored, and somebody then go a bit more forward. We take the tempo of a game into consideration, or something else, react to the lineups and if some players are missing or not. We go again a bit further, and my employer Juha Purhonen did 2010, and what is this called? Diploma examination in that university out of the box score in the NBA football. The title was Predicting Outcomes of Basketball Games Based on Box Score Statistics. And that happened 2010. Before that, I had done a lot of research, and I kind of, behind the scenes took slightly part of that thesis. And then after that, Juha left for very good paid job in other part of life, out of sports betting, but we continued with that study. Actually, for my Finnish friends behind the camera, the Finnish Yle, Finnish BBC, has done a good documentary of that thesis and me and European sports betting consultant, so that's worth watching. Anyway, back to track. So here the idea is that we try to find what part of the box score explains the winning and losing and points, and even against the betting line in NBA basketball. We found certain things like that throwing itself is a good thing, and throw percentage, surprisingly, is not that indicative. And we found assists are pretty important in NBA basketball. We have gone much further in our own research after that, and we do well in our NBA betting, and we have thought very carefully what kind of teams are good in Colossus pools and which are better to bet on the Las Vegas type handicap betting or money line. But as I said, it's good to have options to bet on different markets, different bookmakers, and NBA basketball is different in that, in Vegas type of betting and in Colossus pools.
The final question, you're a betting professional, but after all, you're from Finland. So what is your view on the mighty Lauri Markkanen?
Well, I'm a great fan of Lauri, and I saw that Yökylä's TV program from Maria Veitula. She interviewed Markkanen, and I like Markkanen more and more. But funny thing happened last week, and we were about to be sole winners in the Colossus Big Four, and we had 3 correct scorelines, and then Chicago played away at Boston, which is a pretty strong team, and we had all the Boston wins in our coupon, and I was pretty certain that our syndicate will get the full pool. And I mean, with 10th of a stake, as we usually bet on those difficult pools. And so you guess already Markkanen played the best game of his entire career, scored something like 30 points or so, and Chicago won outright at Boston. So there, I had some kind of conflicting feelings, but believe it or not, I even like Chicago win and win for my fellow Finn Markkanen. So I tried to keep my emotions out of betting, but with Chicago Bulls games, it might have some effect and might have even bigger effect after last weekend when Lauri sank us.